Chapter 111. One person dares to speak, and one person dares to believe. After Chu Jinan asked that question, the whole room fell silent. The chirping of insects outside grew more frequent, as if a sense of urgency permeated the air itself. Song Yanfei came up with countless excuses in her mind, but in the end, they all fizzled out. Just as the atmosphere became tense, Bai Yu spoke up. "I know how to do this." Song Yanfei and Chu Jinan both turned to look at him, eager to hear what kind of nonsense he could come up with. Bai Yu crossed her left leg over her right, leaned back in her chair, and slowly began, "You only recently reunited with your parents, right?" Quote. Song Yanfei glanced at Chu Jinan next to him. Chu Jinan remained calm and showed no reaction. "Yes, right," Song Yanfei had almost confessed just now, but she didn't expect Bai Yu to do this. What was she supposed to do? Chu Jinan said, "Then how did she get from here to Sea City, which is over 1,000 kilometers away?" "Orphanage." Bai Yu said, "She was kidnapped by human traffickers." Chu Jinan, "Human traffickers sell people to orphanage." Bai Yu then said, "She was rescued, so why not send her to orphanage?" "Okay." Song Yanfei stared wide-eyed at the two men in disbelief. They had already fabricated her backstory. One person dares to speak, and one person dares to believe. I didn't ask for her opinion at all. Thankfully, the elderly couple weren't home. If Father Song had overheard their conversation, he would have chased after her with a broom. Song Yanfei gave a helpless, bitter smile. "You believed it?" Chu Jinan turned his gaze to her, his eyes eerily calm. He nodded. "I believe you." Song Yanfei opened her mouth, feeling a mix of emotions. Bai Yu, on the other hand, laughed. In fact, Chu Jinan already knew about it while they were inquiring about Song Yanfei. As we asked around, many people recognized Song Yanfei, as he was one of the few college students in the village. Now that they finally found her and confirmed she is safe and sound, Chu Jinan would believe it even if they said she was the first emperor of Qin. Otherwise, they'll sneak away again next time. The joke I just told was just to ease the awkwardness. So where will I sleep at night? Song Yanfei snapped out of her daze, scratched her head, and thought for a moment. There were only 3 rooms in the house. She took one room, and there's one room left. She hesitated before saying, "There's another empty room, can you two sleep together?" The two men glanced at each other instinctively and almost simultaneously refused. "Don't want." "No." Chu Jinan modestly replied, "Let him sleep there." Bai Yu raised an eyelid and also became modest. "No need, you can sleep here." Chu Jinan looked at him. "Are you going to keep watch?" Bai Yu laughed and said, "So you asked me to give it to you so you could keep watch. You are a really nice person." Song Yanfei interrupted the two. "All right, you two stop arguing. You are both men, what's wrong with sleeping in the same room? It's settled." Bai Yu smiled indifferently, while Chu Jinan pursed his lips, unwilling but remaining silent. Bai Yu asked, "Can I take a shower here?" They hadn't showered for several days, and both of them were starting to feel the strain. Song Yanfei glanced at him embarrassedly. "Yes, I do." Bai Yu stood up impatiently. "Take me there quickly." After being cooped up in the car for days, he was starting to smell bad. More than finding a place to sleep, he wanted to take a shower. There was no other way, so Song Yanfei had to take him there. Seeing the empty little room and the plastic buckets piled up inside, Bai Yu was stunned for a long time. He turned back to Song Yanfei in disbelief. "You mean, you are going to wash it in this bucket?" Song Yanfei bit her lip, trying hard to suppress her laughter, and nodded sincerely, "Yes, we all use this to wash." Bai Yu stared at the buckets for a long time, but ultimately didn't have the courage to wash in one of them. "Never mind, I'll go to your town." Bai Yu turned and left the small room. Bai Yu used to look down on the hotels in town, but after seeing the bathroom facilities at Song Yanfei's place, the hotels in town now seem much better. He has a car, so he can get to town quickly, in just a few minutes. As if remembering something, he looked at Chu Jinan standing at the gate and asked, "Do you want to come with me?" Chu Jinan glanced at him. "I'm not going." "Let's not go then." Bai Yu turned on his phone's flashlight and walked straight out of the village. Once Bai Yu left, Song Yunfei became nervous, as she was now one less accomplice. She turned around awkwardly and looked towards the door. Chu Jinan was also looking at her. A quiet atmosphere filled the space between the two. Song Yunfei knew that Chu Jinan definitely didn't believe Bai Yu's words earlier. Not knowing what she would face next, and unable to avoid it, she shuffled over to Chu Jinan. "How did you find your way here?" Chu Jinan said. "Bai Yu checked the IP address." Song Yunfei gritted her teeth, mentally cursing Bai Yu, that incompetent teammate. Bringing Chu Jinan here, are they trying to kill them already? He has connections, so his family can bail him out, but she doesn't. Does she expect the old couple to break him out of prison? She forced a smile. I sigh. Since she was going to die anyway, Song Yunfei gave up struggling. "Ask whatever you want." Chu Jinan stared at her for a long time, then suddenly grasped her hand. "Do you have enough money for your father's treatment?" Song Yunfei froze, staring at him in astonishment. Her mind was filled with excuses, and she couldn't quite grasp what he meant for a long time. "Is that all you were asking?" Chu Jinan gazed intently at her. "Then what should I ask?" "This. To me, your safety is more important than anything else. There are some things you don't want to talk about, and you must have your reasons. Tell me when you're ready." Song Yunfei blinked, her mind still blank. Sure enough, he got into a car accident and damaged his brain. The lie about childhood sweethearts has been exposed. With a little speculation, even more lies can be deduced. But now he doesn't ask anything. After a long pause, Song Yunfei felt a surge of emotion, but at the same time, she worried about the potential disappointment that would ensue once she regained her memories. She spoke in a muffled voice. "What you say now doesn't represent you after you regain your memories." Chu Jinan stared at her for a while, seemingly lost in thought. He spoke thoughtfully. "Aren't they all me? Why can't they represent everyone?" Song Yunfei's heart stirred slightly. She immediately took out her phone, turned on the camera to record, and said, "Then record my evidence and say that sentence again." Chu Jinan glanced at her phone and then fell into deep thought again. "If that's how you put it, then I'll have to think about it carefully." "You rascal, I knew it." Song Yunfei glared at him irritably. He was still as cunning as ever. Just as she was about to put her phone away, Chu Jinan pulled her back and pointed the phone at himself. He asked Song Yunfei, "Have you ever done anything excessive to anyone other than me?" Song Yunfei was taken aback. He meant that the people besides him were definitely not people like Bai Yu, but his relatives and friends. Sure enough, he had already realized something, but he didn't take the initiative to reveal it. Chapter 112. Will you disappear again? Song Yunfei thought for a moment, then quickly shook her head. "No." Aside from nearly killing him and bringing him to this place, she did not do anything to harm anyone around him. Chu Jinan nodded. "Then I can represent myself after I regain my memories." Song Yunfei pouted. Right now, he's all love-struck and will say anything. She doesn't believe him at all. Seemingly sensing her disdain, Chu Jinan spoke again. "Song Yunfei, although I have lost my memory, my heart remains." Song Yunfei was stunned. A complex mix of emotions surged within me as I kept reminding myself that the promises of an amnesiac man were not to be trusted. On the one hand, she would be moved by what he said. Even if a man doesn't have amnesia, you can't trust his promises, let alone a man with amnesia. Every time she was in this torment, Song Yunfei wished she could end it all by getting it over with quickly. "Why don't you ask about something else? I'll tell you anything you want to know." Chu Jinan held her hand and could clearly feel her nervousness. Time passed in silence. Song Yunfei awaited his questioning and was prepared to accept all the consequences. After an unknown amount of time, Chu Jinan slowly spoke. I suddenly remembered that you asked me some questions before. What? Your assumptions. Chu Jinan was silent for a few seconds, then asked her another question. If I ask all my questions, will you disappear again? Song Yunfei remained silent. At this moment, he had probably already guessed most of the assumptions and probes from before. Song Yunfei forced a defense. Well, not necessarily. He paused, then tightened his grip on her hand slightly. Answering you before you're ready is meaningless and won't confirm whether it's true or false. Some things can only be verified by yourself, and now, you are right in front of me, safe and sound, and that's enough. The more he said that, the more pressure Song Yunfei felt. This feeling is like a death row inmate being led to the execution ground, only to suddenly receive a suspended sentence. There was no sense of relief at surviving a disaster, only the fear of judgment that could come at any moment. Song Yunfei asked persistently, you really don't want to know? Chu Jinan shook his head slightly and looked at her seriously. If a person is about to die and it's not painful, what they should do is cherish the present moment, not hasten their death. At least, I think that things are more important now than the truth. Song Yunfei was completely speechless. She had absolutely no resistance to this kind of man. Moreover, it must be admitted that he is right. While she was still in a daze, Chu Jinan had already changed the subject. Didn't you take your uncle to see the doctor? Why are you alone? Song Yunfei said absent-mindedly. They're at the hospital. I've come back to collect the grain. Collecting grain. Clearly, this term was beyond his understanding, so he humbly asked, how do I collect it? Song Yunfei pointed to the pile of things in the room. Use that. Chu Jinan stared at it for a long time, but he didn't recognize anything. However, when he saw the rectangular wooden barrel, he couldn't help but look at Song Yunfei. Are you planning to move all this out by yourself? Song Yunfei scratched his head. I definitely can't do it myself. I'm going to ask the villagers for help. As she spoke, she suddenly looked at Chu Jinan with a smile. Would you like to try it? In no mood. Song Yunfei pouted. Chu Jinan added, but I'm willing to do it for you. Song Yunfei laughed again, taking his arm. I knew you were the best. Alright, and Bai you too, don't let him get away tomorrow. Chu Jinan, okay. You haven't had dinner yet, have you? I'll go make you something to eat. After she returned, Mother Song went to town the next morning and bought a lot of vegetables, and there are still some left. Chu Jinan volunteered, I'll do it. Song Yunfei looked at him suspiciously and led him to the kitchen. Chu Jinan looked at the wood-fired stove in front of him, remained silent for a few seconds, then took 2 steps back. You do it. Song Yunfei was amused by him, picked up some firewood and stuffed it into the stove hole, then grabbed some dry grass and lit it. Before long, a fire broke out in the stove. Song Yunfei waved to him, come help me start the fire, I'll go prepare the vegetables. Chu Jinan walked to the stove, sat down, and started stuffing dry twigs and other things into it. Seeing that he cooked quite well, Song Yunfei felt relieved and went to prepare the other dishes. She washed some potatoes and cucumbers, and also took out some cured meat from the refrigerator. When she finished preparing the dishes and returned to the kitchen, she saw that the stove hole was full of firewood and the house was filled with thick smoke. She rushed over and pulled Chu Jinan away. Hey, you spendthrift man, why did you put so many in there? If my mom sees this, she'll scold you to death. Chu Jinan stood to the side, looking somewhat at a loss. This guy doesn't know how to start a fire. He just keeps adding firewood, making the place so full that the fire can't get going. Song Yunfei lowered some of the flames and rekindled them. She turned around, intending to tell him the trick to starting a fire, but couldn't help but laugh when she saw the smudges on his face. He looks like a silly goose. Chu Jinan asked, puzzled, what are you laughing at? Song Yanfei swallowed her laughter and pulled him back to sit down. It's nothing. Come on, keep burning it. I'll tell you how. Chu Jinan has a strong learning ability. After being taught a few times, he has completely mastered the fire-making skills. When Bai Yu returned from town, the two had just finished cooking. He walked to the table and sat down without any ceremony. When he turned around, he saw Chu Jinan's ashen face and couldn't help but laugh. You guys didn't go to the coal mine and dig up coal to cook with, did you? Song Yanfei glared at him. How dare you say that? I didn't see you cooking, but you came back for dinner. Bai Yu said, it's because you don't have a water heater at home. Who sent you? Bai Yu sighed and shook his head, saying, I came all this way because I care about you, and this is how you treat your guest. Song Yanfei wanted to strangle him. All he did was make sarcastic remarks. If it weren't for him, would Chu Jinan be sitting here? You didn't get a turn, go stand over there. Song Yanfei's former identity, you, such an ingrate. Shut up. Chu Jinan watched the two bickering from the side, picked up a piece of cured meat and put it in Song Yanfei's bowl, saying, eat. Song Yanfei ignored Bai Yu and picked up her chopsticks to eat. She was starving after a long day of traveling. There were no bowls or chopsticks for Bai Yu on the table, and Bai Yu didn't touch them either, just watching the two of them eat. But as he looked around, he noticed something was wrong. His ankles felt warm. Looking down under the table, he saw that the dead dog had peed on his feet again. He abruptly pulled his foot back and instinctively stepped backward. Bai Yu had never sat on such a long bench before, so when she stepped back, the bench didn't move backward, but instead tipped over. Clang! A loud bang echoed in the main room. Chapter 113 I also know a little about martial arts. Not only that, he kicked the table and almost overturned it. Song Yanfei was startled. Seeing the tabletop shaking violently, she thought it was an earthquake. Looking across, I realized that Bai Yu had flipped over. Bai Yu lay on the ground with her legs dangling over an overturned stool, her expression shifting between light and dark. Song Yanfei put down her chopsticks and walked over to him in a few steps. Are you all right? Bai Yu remained lying on the ground, veins bulging on his forehead, gritting his teeth as he said, sooner or later, I'll stew your dogs. Song Yanfei turned back again, searching everywhere for Quan Quan. It was found under the table, right next to Chu Jinan's feet, chewing on something. Upon closer inspection, it appears to be eating cured meat. Without a doubt, it was Chu Jinan who fed it. Song Yanfei then shifted his gaze to Chu Jinan's face. He calmly held the bowl, ignoring the soot on his face, still maintaining his elegance. Bai Yu rubbed his lower back and got up from the ground on his own. Hiss, he continued rubbing his lower back and walked towards the chair over there. Looking at him like this, Song Yanfei didn't know whether to laugh or worry. However, this person's mouth was too foul, and Song Yanfei didn't feel sorry for him at all. He must have hurt himself from the fall, because he stopped talking. I rested on the chair for a while, then went out to find water to wash my feet. Song Yanfei got him some crystal sandals to change into, even though Bai Yu didn't want to wear them, but he had no other shoes to change into. Watching him sit on a small stool under the eaves washing socks, wearing a shirt and trousers, but with purple crystal shoes that were half a head too short on his feet. Song Yanfei gritted her teeth to keep from laughing out loud. Chu Jinan also came out carrying a bucket, preparing to take a bath. When he saw the crystal slippers on Bai Yu's feet, his lips twitched. Upon seeing him, Song Yanfei immediately said, Chu Jinan, are you going to take a shower? I'll get you a pair of shoes. Need not. After saying that, as if afraid that Song Yanfei would get him shoes, he picked up the bucket and strode into the small room next door. Bai Yu looked at her with a sly expression, noticing the corners of her mouth that she was desperately trying to suppress. Is it that funny? After saying that, he slapped his ankle, killing a mosquito. Song Yunfei rubbed the tip of her nose, covering the corner of her mouth with a smile. No, it's not funny at all. Song Yunfei's former identity. I really suspect you did this on purpose. Why would you give me a pair of women's shoes? Song Yunfei retorted, no, this is the only new pair we have at home. Do you want the ones my dad wore? She wasn't lying about that, it really was just this one pair of new shoes. Bai Yu thought about it and ultimately decided not to accept shoes that someone else had worn. Song Yunfei led him to the empty room, and this time Bai Yu didn't offer any more courtesy and took the room for himself. As for Chu Jinan, after he finished showering, he followed Song Yunfei to her room. Song Yunfei placed the lit mosquito coil under the bed, and when she turned around, she saw him about to sit on the bed. She quickly stopped her. Hey, no, you can't go up there. Chu Jinan asked, puzzled, why? The rule here is that unmarried people can't sleep in the same bed. What will happen if you sleep with it? How would I know? After a moment's thought, Chu Jinan didn't insist any further. Then you sleep, I'll sit. Song Yunfei sighed. They had to collect grain tomorrow. How could she let him sit there? In the end, she compromised. Why don't you come up here? You can sleep on that side, and I'll sleep on this side. Although he was not very willing, he was already glad to be able to go up, so he couldn't be picky. The next morning, Song Yunfei was awakened by the crowing of a rooster outside. When she got up, she saw that it was only 6 o'clock. By 6 o'clock, most of the villagers had gotten up, and some had already gone to work in the fields. Chu Jinan woke up around the same time as her. He looked haggard and didn't seem to have slept well. Moreover, there were several red spots on his neck, which were clearly mosquito bites. Bai Yu was in a similar situation, with red spots all over her face and neck. As soon as he came out, he complained, the mosquitoes here are too rampant. I feel like if I stay a few more days, they will suck my blood dry. Song Yunfei said irritably, it's not that exaggerated. Everyone else is living just fine. She tossed the floral water in her hand to Bai Yu and went to the kitchen to cook. She only had a big pot of porridge and pickled vegetables for breakfast. She was too lazy to cook anything else. After breakfast, Bai Yu asked her, didn't you take your dad to see a doctor? Where is he? Song Yunfei said, they're at the hospital, and I came back to collect the grain. What are you collecting? Collect the grain. Song Yunfei looked at him expectantly. Bai Yu fell silent. After a while, he pushed up his gold-rimmed glasses and stood up without making a sound. With an expression that Song Yunfei had never seen before, he said, I only took 5 days off, it's about time I left. Suehua, I'll come see you again next time. As soon as he turned around, someone grabbed him by the back of the neck and pulled him back. Bai Yu turned around and looked at Chu Jinan with a mix of amusement and exasperation. You two are dating, so why don't you help her accept it? What's it to me? Chu Jinan said, since you're here, finish up before you leave. What if I don't? I also know a little about martial arts. Is this some kind of lawless place? Song Yunfei was giving Chu Jinan a lot of thumbs up from the side. Putting everything else aside, even if he really beat up Bai Yu wouldn't dare to call the police. Ultimately, under Chu Jinan's coercion and enticement, Bai Yu agreed to accept the grain. Song Yunfei carried a basket on her back, while the two men carried a mixing bucket out the door. When villagers passed by and saw it, they couldn't help but be curious. Hey Suehua, are these two young men your friends? Song Yunfei replied with a smile, yes, my classmate. Oh my, he's really good looking, tall and strong, he looks like a good worker. Bai Yu and Chu Jinan both glanced at her. Bai Yu's eyes held a strange look. Your real name is Suehua. Song Yunfei gave an awkward smile. Suehua is indeed her nickname. No, it's the nickname of the original owner. It is said that when she was a child, she fell ill and became a godmother, taking her surname Yang and being named Sui Hua. The two carried all the tools to the field. Bai Yu wiped the sweat from his brow and couldn't help but ask, "Isn't there that machine? Can I pay to have one come and harvest it?" Song Yanfei said, "The machine can't get in." Bai Yu thought about it and realized that his car was still parked outside the village. Song Yanfei urged, "Don't waste time. This is all we have. If we work hard, we can finish it in a day." Chu Jinan asked, "How do we fight?" Song Yanfei installed everything, then cut some grain and demonstrated for them. "Watch closely, just like this." She raised the bundles of rice high with both hands and then slammed them down forcefully onto the tilted wooden board inside the bucket. Once, twice, flip it over, once, twice. Despite his slender frame, clad in a floral shirt and carrying stalks of rice, he exuded an aura of pioneering spirit. Bai Yu. Chu Jinan. Chapter 114 What should I do if my parents don't like me? Bai Yu looked at Chu Jinan beside him. "Should we fight like this too?" Chu Jinan didn't speak, he just stared at Song Yanfei. After Song Yanfei finished demonstrating, she had the two of them cut rice together, cutting half of it first and then threshing it. However, after cutting for 10 minutes, the two started rubbing and scratching, and even Chu Jinan, who was usually so aloof, showed signs of pain on his face. 15 minutes later, Song Yanfei joined them, cutting for 2 minutes and scratching for 5 minutes. "Especially when the sun comes out, my body feels incredibly hot, and the sweat mixed with the wound makes it both painful and itchy." The three of them lasted less than half an hour before Bai Yu couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed a few old men passing by and made them do it. The old men were just passing by, standing there laughing at these young people for not knowing how to work. But when he heard that he would earn 500 yuan after finishing this job, the old man kicked off his rubber shoes and ran faster than the young people, as if he was afraid that if he ran too slow, he would be abandoned. Song Yanfei didn't care about the money anymore, the work was just too unbearable. The three of them found a shady spot and sat under a tree to watch the old men work. To be fair, these men in their 50s were much more agile than her. Song Yanfei thought that if they were to run, she wouldn't be able to outrun them. In less than a day, around 1 p.m., all the grain in these two fields was harvested. These elderly men even helped pack it up and carried it home for Song Yanfei. Song Yanfei was deeply moved. Indeed, a close neighbor is better than a distant relative. Neighbors are always the best. Seeing how kind and honest the old men were, Bai Yu gave them an extra 200 yuan on top of the original 500 yuan, making it a total of 700 yuan per person. Song Yanfei looked at the pile of grain by the door and felt something was wrong, so she did some calculations. She asked Bai Yu, "How many kilograms do you think this weighs?" Bai Yu was frantically wiping her neck with a handkerchief when she glanced at the screen and said, "Around 1,000 catties, maybe 8 or 900 after drying." "So how much did you pay in total?" 3,005. Quote. Bai Yu seemed to realize something and suddenly fell silent. All three of them stared silently at the grain by the door. No wonder those old men were all beaming with joy when they left. Song Yanfei had a premonition that for a long time to come, she would become the laughing stock of the village. She had to slip away before the old couple returned, otherwise she wouldn't have any peace and quiet. You have to understand that Mother Song is the kind of person who will nag for ages if she puts in too many extra pieces of firewood. If she knew about this, I don't know how long she would talk about it. Bai Yu still felt uncomfortable after washing her face, so she went to get a bucket of water and rinsed herself with it several times. Song Yanfei sighed and wrung out her handkerchief, numbly wiping her face. Then he turned to look at Chu Jinan, whose face and neck had several small cuts from rice leaves. All three of them had similar cuts. "I'm sorry," Song Yanfei felt a little guilty, "I made you suffer in the fields." Chu Jinan picked up the handkerchief in his hand and wiped away the dust that he hadn't managed to wipe from her chin. After he finished wiping, he finally spoke, "I only worked for half an hour. You must have been doing this for many years, right?" Song Yunfei was stunned and speechless for a moment. Before she time traveled, she had done similar things when she was a child. However, the fact that he asked this question clearly exposed the lie about being childhood sweethearts, making Song Yunfei subconsciously unwilling to touch on this topic. Bai Yu came out of the self-built bathroom and couldn't help but ask, "Now that the grains are collected, what's next?" Song Yunfei pointed to the pile of grain. "Of course we'll dry it in the sun. Once it's dry, it'll be fine." Bai Yu sighed, walked to a chair, and lay down. When Quan Quan saw him, she sneakily walked towards his feet. Bai Yu spotted it with sharp eyes, grabbed Quan Quan by the back of the neck, and lifted him up. He spread Quan Quan's hind legs apart to examine them, a wicked smile spreading across his face. "I'll cut your balls off when we get back." Quan Quan struggled repeatedly in his hands, and Bai Yu pressed it down and tormented it for a while. Song Yunfei was worried that he might harm Quan Quan, but after watching for a while and confirming that he hadn't hurt Quan Quan, he stopped worrying about it. The next 2 days were spent drying grains. There was nothing else to do. The three of them stayed in the main room, occasionally flipping through the grains, and spending the rest of the time doing their own thing. Chu Jinan received the most calls, calling every few minutes. Bai Yu was alright, answering a call every now and then. Song Yunfei had no one to call her, so she worked on her computer by herself. The story of spending 3,500 to buy grain has spread throughout the village. In the past 2 days, passers-by have been jokingly asking if they need help drying the grain, and many people have come to inquire about Bai Yu and Chu Jinan. Because both of them were handsome and generous, some people considered acting as matchmakers. Song Yunfei hid inside after being questioned, since she had already installed the software and didn't need the internet anyway. Inside the house, you could hear Bai Yu talking nonsense with those elderly folks outside. "Okay, give me your phone number, I'll go back and get a divorce." Sui Hua, she kept pursuing me, saying she would take me home to meet her parents, but she tricked me into coming to collect grain. She tricked 2 of me. See that guy over there rummaging through the grain. He was tricked into coming here too. I was dating a rich woman before, but her husband didn't approve, and my wife didn't approve either, so we broke up. I work at a funeral home. I move corpses during the day and cremate them at night. The clothes I'm wearing were taken from a corpse. Do I look good in them? Song Yunfei covered her head, feeling like she was going crazy after hearing his lies. I really want to go out and beat him to death. After everyone had finally left, Song Yunfei approached Bai Yu, clasped her hands together, and pleaded, "Big brother, please go, I beg you, please go back now." Bai Yu laughed and said, "Since you've already called me brother, I'll definitely help you to the end." Song Yunfei has lost all will to live. Her reputation in the village was completely ruined. After 3 agonizing days, the grain was finally dried and brought back inside. Song Yunfei couldn't wait to leave the village and go to the hospital. She has been calling Mother Song every day to check on her condition. The treatment is going well, at least her condition has stabilized. Bai Yu has a car, so he doesn't need to squeeze onto the bus anymore. Song Yunfei, sitting in the back, subconsciously glanced at the silent Chu Jinan beside her. For some reason, when she saw the man's taut jawline, she sensed that Chu Jinan was a little nervous. Song Yunfei leaned closer to him and whispered, "Are you nervous?" Chu Jinan paused for a moment, then turned to look at her and nodded honestly, "A little." "Why are you so nervous?" He was silent for a moment before speaking in a low voice, "But if your parents don't like me?" Song Yunfei was also taken aback, not expecting him to be worried about this. "Why would you think that? I don't have a house or a car. I might not even be able to afford the bride price for the time being. Even Bai Yu, who was driving in front, couldn't help but laugh when he heard this. He glanced at the rearview mirror and said to Song Yunfei, quickly record it for him. The second half of the sentence was that if Chu Jinan sued them, he would broadcast it on big screens all over the city. Of course, Bai Yu would not say this to Chu Jinan's face. Chapter 115. I feel like he's up to something bad. The two spoke in low voices, but the car was quiet, so Bai Yu overheard them. After Bai Yu spoke, Chu Jinan fell silent, and indeed, he didn't utter a single word the entire way. We set off in the morning and arrived at the hospital in the afternoon. Song Yunfei found Mother Song outside the ward. She was sitting at the door, looking melancholy. "Mom!" she called out, and Mother Song looked up, her face full of surprise. "You're here so soon. Have you finished harvesting the grain?" Song Yunfei was somewhat speechless. They had just met and he was concerned about the grain at home, but not about the injury on her face. "It's all collected and packed. Don't worry, I've found some help." Song Yunfei pointed to the two people next to her, and Mother Song then noticed that there were two men standing next to her. Mother Song was stunned for a moment. Why were there two men? And they weren't from the village. Who are these two young men? She looked at Song Yunfei with a worried expression, afraid that she might do something reckless outside. Bai Yu said with a smile, "Auntie, we are Yunfei's colleagues. We're on holiday from work, so we came here to have some fun." Chu Jinan moved his lips, but chose to remain silent instead of refuting Bai Yu's words. Mother Song breathed a sigh of relief. "Oh, I see." Bai Yu, ever the social butterfly, plopped down next to Mother Song and asked, "Auntie, do you have Uncle's medical report? Let me see it. I happen to know someone who's an expert in this field. I'll ask him to take a look." Yes, I'll go get it for you." After Mother Song left, Song Yunfei looked at Bai Yu suspiciously. "What are you going to do?" "Bai Yu, look, don't you want your dad to recover?" Song Yunfei sighed, looking worried. "I definitely want to, but the doctor has said that the best option is a kidney transplant, and after evaluation, Song Dushan is a suitable candidate for a kidney transplant. However, kidney donors are scarce, making it difficult for ordinary people to apply for one." As they were talking, Mother Song had already taken the bag of test results and handed it to him. Bai Yu took out stacks of forms and carefully examined each one. Mother Song was a little confused. Wasn't he going to send it to his friends? Why did he look at it himself? A few minutes later, Bai Yu put the form back in the bag and returned it to Mother Song. He should be eligible for a transplant. Mother Song smiled bitterly. Where would they get the money for a transplant? Even if they did, they wouldn't have a kidney donor. The doctor also said that there are no kidney donors available at the moment. Bai Yu smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'll put in a good word with the hospital director, and he'll be given priority for a kidney when one becomes available." Mother Song and Song Yunfei both looked at him in surprise. Even Chu Jinan couldn't help but glance at Bai Yu again. Song Yunfei asked, "Do you know the dean?" Bai Yu, "I don't know him, but someone else does." Mother Song pulled Song Yunfei to the end of the corridor and whispered, "Is your colleague reliable? Why does he like to brag so much?" Song Yunfei was somewhat amused and exasperated. "Really? What if he's telling the truth?" Mother Song scoffed, "That's obviously bragging. I'm older than you and have met far more people. Song Gairwa from the village, didn't he say he was going to start a company and be a big boss? Turns out he's just driving a taxi." Song Yunfei comforted her, "Mom, they meant well, so let's not say anything." Mother Song thought about it and agreed. Regardless of whether it was bragging or not, the fact that the other party had come all this way to visit showed their good intentions. After the two finished playing with the crickets, they walked back laughing. Bai Yu was on the phone, and Chu Jinan sat in a chair, watching him quietly. A few minutes later, Bai Yu put away her phone and laughed, "Okay, it's all taken care of. I happen to have a friend who has a good relationship with the dean. Mother Song thought he was bragging from the bottom of her heart, but she still smiled and thanked him. Thank you, young man. You're welcome. It's because Yanfei and I are good friends. Bai Yu glanced at Chu Jinan as he said this. But Chu Jinan sat there, expressionless and silent, like a background figure. While Mother Song was chatting with Bai Yu, she almost forgot that there was someone else there. Song Yanfei noticed him, walked over and sat down next to him. Chu Jinan, are you alright? Chu Jinan shook his head slightly. It's alright, do you have enough money? Song Yanfei felt a warmth in her heart and nodded. That's enough, you don't need to worry. I'll give you 200,000, and you still have more than 300,000 left with me, that's enough. Chu Jinan looked at her. So, you needed money because of this. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Song Yanfei felt inexplicably guilty. She didn't actually need the money because of this matter. If Mother Song hadn't called, she wouldn't have remembered it at all. However, since he had already covered for her, she had no reason to reveal it herself. Song Yanfei went along with him, saying, I was just afraid you'd worry. Chu Jinan fell silent, looking somewhat dejected. I'm still useless. Quote. No, you're useless. You are overthinking things again. Song Yanfei always felt that being with him was like being unable to keep up with everything else. As soon as one problem was fixed, another would appear. Over there, Bai Yu finished talking with Mother Song and returned to Song Yanfei. He said, I really have to go this time, Chu Jinan. Do you want to come back with me? Chu Jinan looked up at him and said, no need. As expected, Bai Yu smiled and said, it's fine for you to stay here. Since it's inconvenient for you to bring your dog to the hospital, let me take your dog back for you. Song Yanfei immediately became alert. You're not going to do anything to it, are you? Bai Yu laughed irritably. What do you take me for? What can I do to this little thing? If you're not comfortable with it, then you can keep it with you yourselves. Song Yanfei thought about it and concluded that although Bai Yu had a sharp tongue, he was still a doctor and wouldn't go so far as to kill small animals. She then looked at Chu Jinan, then let him take it back. The hospital doesn't allow dogs. Chu Jinan was surprisingly generous. Sure. Song Yanfei warned Bai Yu again, you'd better treat it well. If anything happens to it while you are in its care, I will never forgive you. Bai Yu smiled and said, don't worry, I won't mistreat your baby. I will definitely raise it to be plump and healthy. For some reason, Song Yanfei always felt a sense of malice when she saw his smile, as if he was plotting something bad. Song Yanfei was right. Bai Yu had been thinking for the past few days about how to lure the dog over and then cut off its testicles. He would never let such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip by. He did this for the dog's health. Removing the testicles would increase the dog's lifespan and also reduce the burden on Song Yanfei. Otherwise, if she has a litter of babies, how will she raise them? Well, Bai Yu convinced herself of this and prepared to take the dog to have its testicles removed without feeling guilty. Chapter 116 He led me astray again. In the end, Quan Quan was taken away by Bai Yu. Bai Yu got into the car and saw the dog squatting on the passenger seat. His smile deepened. Little one, now I'm your guardian, aren't you happy? The puppy didn't understand him, but it sat on the seat and wagged its tail at him. Bai Yu picked it up, sat it down, and fastened its seatbelt. The seatbelt went through its front legs and secured it to the seat, forcing Quan Quan to sit on the chair with its front paws raised, just like a human. The car started and drove out of the hospital. Not long after Bai Yu left, a doctor came and took over Song Dashan's care. A new treatment plan was devised, starting with conservative treatment and proceeding with a kidney transplant once a suitable donor becomes available. Mother Song then realized that the young man wasn't lying, he really did know the dean. When she went to see Song Dashan, she also told him about it. The elderly couple were then convinced that Song Yun-fei had indeed joined a big company, and that even a casual colleague around her was so capable. Earning several $100,000 a year is normal. Song Dushan stopped insisting on going back and stayed in the hospital for treatment. Mother Song noticed that the other man was still there, so she went up to the two of them and asked, "Yun-fei, is this also your colleague?" Chu Jinan pursed his lips and remained silent. Song Yun-fei laughed and said, "Mom, he's not my colleague, he's my boyfriend." She didn't want to talk about their relationship, worried that if she broke up with Chu Jinan later, it would make the elderly couple worry. But seeing how uneasy he looked, I decided to calm him down first. Mother Song looked Chu Jinan up and down, and was satisfied with his appearance, nodding repeatedly. Then they sat down and began questioning. Her first question was, "Siuha, where are you from?" Song Yun-fei sensed something was wrong and quickly said, "Mom, he's from Kangcheng." "Where is Kangcheng?" "Anyway, it's very far, you wouldn't know even if I told you." Mother Song said, "Oh," and then asked, "So what do you do?" Song Yun-fei quickly answered, "He's a supervisor in the factory." Mother Song's eyes lit up. "A supervisor, that's great. Da Hong from our village is also a supervisor at the factory, earning 7 or 8,000 a month." Chu Jinan, who was still worrying about his car and house, was stunned when he heard this. Is 7 or 8,000 enough to make her this satisfied? The job is good, but it's a bit too far away. If you get married, will you live in Kangcheng? Every time Mother Song asked a question, Song Yun-fei would break out in a cold sweat. Chu Jinan said, "Anywhere is fine." Upon hearing this, Mother Song was even more pleased with him, but then asked with doubt, "Then what about your work?" No, you still need to focus on work. Getting married will cost money everywhere. You don't need to worry about her dad and me. We have enough to eat and drink. You two just need to live your lives well." Song Yun-fei pursed her lips, deeply moved by these words. In that village, many girls dropped out of junior high school to work, and they rarely even had the opportunity to go to high school. The original owner went to university and, even after starting work, didn't ask anything of her. It's truly rare that she doesn't even object to marrying someone from far away. After chatting with Chu Jinan, Mother Song found that although the young man was not talkative, he was quite down to earth and not like the guy who was just spouting nonsense. He has a good job and is good looking. She has completely accepted this future son-in-law. So she asked again, "Do you two have any plans to get married?" Quote. Song Yun-fei was now quite regretful. She should have said she was a colleague earlier. Chu Jinan ignored Song Yun-fei and continued chatting with Mother Song. "What do I need to prepare?" Mother Song smiled and said, "You mean the bride price. As long as you two have a good relationship, a small token is fine. Anyway, it will all be returned to you in the end." Song Yun-fei couldn't stand it anymore and interrupted Mother Song, "All right, Mom, it's only the first time we've met. Don't put so much pressure on him. When the time is right, we'll get married naturally." Mother Song realized she had said a bit too much and chuckled sheepishly. "That's true, let's talk about it again when we get back for the new year." Song Yun-fei secretly breathed a sigh of relief. "Okay, you haven't eaten yet, have you? Why don't we go eat first?" "Okay, you've been traveling all day. Let's go eat first, then get a hotel room and get some rest." Mother Song has been eating at the hospital cafeteria these days, but now that Chu Jinan and Song Yun-fei are here, they'll definitely be eating out. Song Yun-fei took a taxi to a restaurant a little further away and ordered a table full of dishes. "After finishing our meal, we still need to pack some food for Song Dushan." Mother Song insisted on packing up the leftovers on the table and taking them home. Song Yun-fei couldn't persuade her otherwise, so she could only let her have her way. After sending Mother Song back to the hospital, she and Chu Jinan opened a hotel nearby. These past few days of harvesting and drying grains have really exhausted Song Yun-fei. After taking a shower at the hotel, she collapsed onto the bed. Not long after, Chu Jinan also finished showering and came out, sitting on the bed. Song Yunfei noticed something, sat up straight, and cupped his face, looking at it from left to right. The wounds from the rice leaves have scabbed over. They didn't look serious before, but now that they've scabbed over, the wounds on his neck and face look crisscrossed. Does it hurt? Chu Jinan shook his head. It doesn't hurt. Does it itch? Chu Jinan shook his head again. Song Yunfei didn't believe he wasn't itchy. Her own wounds were still itchy. She sighed, rested her head on the man's shoulder, and whispered, "You've met my mother today, so you should know that the orphanage and childhood sweetheart story is a lie. Don't you really have any questions?" Have. Song Yunfei had only said it casually, but his sudden remark startled her so much that she jumped back. Listening warily to Chu Jinan, she was incredibly nervous inside, but on the surface she pretended to be calm. "Then ask away." Chu Jinan reached out and touched her face, slowly asking, "How much is the bride price on your side?" Question mark quote. Why are his questions always so unexpected, catching Song Yunfei off guard every time? "No, that you." Chu Jinan said, "If you won't even answer this, will you tell the truth when I ask you other questions?" Ah, this. Song Yunfei realized that he had led her astray again. "I could only bite the bullet and answer, it's usually 66,000, 88,000, or 100,000. I've never seen more than that. So where do you want to live in the future?" Song Yunfei really wanted to kneel down and beg him not to ask anymore. Her smile was more like a grimace. I haven't decided yet. Why don't you ask about something else?" Chu Jinan leaned closer to her, his gaze fixed intently on her. "So, is tonight okay?" Song Yunfei took a deep breath and smiled slightly. "It's possible. As long as you stop asking questions, you can do whatever you want." Before he finished speaking, he had already leaned down and kissed him. Chapter 117 I Want to Look at You. He kissed very earnestly, and his technique was getting better and better. His warm breath brushed against her cheek, and in a moment, Song Yunfei lost the ability to think, enveloped by his breath. Song Yunfei sensed that he had suffered a great blow today, and even this kiss carried a hint of unease. She closed her eyes and took the initiative to hug the man's neck. The man paused slightly, then his hand, which was around her waist, slowly moved upwards, through her long, loose hair, and cradled the back of her head, deepening the kiss. Before I knew it, only the bedside lamp remained in the room. But it was still too bright. Song Yunfei reached out to turn off the light, but he grabbed her wrist. "I want to look at you." Looking into the pair of dark, turbulent eyes above her, Song Yunfei's cheeks flushed red, the blush spreading all the way to the tips of her ears. She was about to speak when her lips were sealed again, silencing all her words. With her hands bound by him, Song Yunfei kept her eyes tightly shut, daring not to open them. At this moment, she understood what it meant to bury one's head in the sand. The next day, Song Yunfei was awakened by a delicious aroma. She groggily opened her eyes and caught a glimpse of a blurry figure in the distance. I sniffed. It smelled like breakfast. She closed her eyes again and paused for a moment. Unable to resist the aroma of breakfast, I opened my eyes again and struggled to get out of bed. She looked for her clothes on the bed and found them on the bedside table. Since I didn't bring any pajamas, I had to use my shirt as pajamas. When I was buttoning my clothes, I realized, oh dear, the top two buttons are missing again. She glared at the man who was setting out breakfast. This guy is getting more and more outrageous. Last night he said he would help her take a bath, but then he went to the bathroom and did something else to her. He even said it was something he had just learned from her favorites, leaving her speechless. From now on, she will never trust this man again, not even a single punctuation mark. Chu Jinan, seemingly oblivious, set out the breakfast and turned to her, saying, "Come and have breakfast." Song Yunfei went to the restroom to wash up and came out. She sat down at the dining table and glanced at the man across from her. He still had that serious, honest look about him, quite different from the person in bed. She's quiet but has a lot of tricks up her sleeve. How can that not be considered the down-to-earth and capable woman Mother Song talks about? Song Yunfei picked up her bowl, ignored him, and buried her head in drinking her porridge and eating her steamed bun. Yunfei. Song Yunfei froze upon hearing her mushy address. Her eyes widened, and she looked up as if she'd seen a ghost. "Are you calling me?" Chu Jinan looked at her, puzzled. "What's wrong?" Song Yunfei put down her bowl and chopsticks, rubbed the goosebumps on her arms, and chuckled dryly, "It's nothing, it just sounds a little creepy. If you don't like it, then I'll call you Sui Hua." "You should still call yourself Yunfei." Chu Jinan remained silent. Seeing his hesitant expression, Song Yunfei couldn't help but ask, "What do you want to say?" Chu Jinan shook his head slightly. "It's nothing, you eat." Song Yunfei found him incomprehensible and continued eating with her head down. After dinner, Song Yunfei was going to the hospital, but Chu Jinan took her to the mall instead. "What do you want to buy?" Song Yunfei looked at him, puzzled. Chu Jinan looked somewhat uneasy. "Go see your dad and buy him some things." Song Yunfei was taken aback. She hadn't expected him to have considered that. "No wonder you sat there so awkwardly yesterday." Song Yunfei asked with a smile, "So what do you want to buy?" Chu Jinan shook his head. "I don't know either, what are you sending here?" "There's no need to be so particular. Just buy whatever you like. As long as it's the thought that counts." Chu Jinan thought for a moment, then went to the supermarket's gift section and found that it mainly contained fruit baskets, milk, and the like. He took a fruit basket and a carton of milk, and wanted to buy a bouquet of flowers, but Song Yunfei stopped him. "Flowers wither in 2 days, they're not edible, it's a waste of money and takes up space, and you have to clean them up later." The two carried their things towards the hospital when Song Yunfei suddenly remembered something. "Isn't your factory very busy? What will happen to the factory if you come all this way?" Chu Jinan said, "I'm not the only one in the factory. Although he is a supervisor, his main job is still as a salesperson. There are other people managing the workshop. He is only busy when new products are first launched, and now he is basically not busy. He mainly communicates with clients, which can all be done on his phone, so he's been on the phone a lot these past few days." Song Yunfei nodded, feeling a little more at ease. If coming to see him causes a delay in the construction schedule, she would be in a terrible position. Song Yunfei brought breakfast for Mother Song, and the three of them sat outside chatting. Because Song Dashan was being treated in the ICU, they couldn't go in to visit him and could only wait outside. When Chu Jinan handed the gift to Mother Song was even more pleased with the young man. "They're just a bit quiet. They only answer one question at a time and rarely initiate conversations. In their village, this would be called being a silent type, someone who isn't good with words, and they'd inevitably be the subject of gossip. You guys probably still have to go to work, right? How long do you plan to stay here?" Mother Song asked again. Song Yunfei chimed in, "We'll leave once Dad's moved to a regular ward." "Mom, are you managing to take care of Dad all by yourself? Maybe I should hire a caregiver for you both." Mother Song waved her hands repeatedly. No need, I'm enough on my own. Why do we need so many people? When I'm at home, I not only have to take care of him, but I also have to do chores. This is nothing. Then you should also take care of your health and not overwork yourself." Mother Song said, "Don't worry about me. Look how thin you are. I'm probably not as healthy as you." Song Yunfei twitched the corner of her mouth. There was no need for her to say that. "You should eat more regularly and stop thinking about losing weight. What's so attractive about being as thin as a bamboo pole? Then came a series of rambling words, which Song Yunfei listened to without finding them annoying. She hadn't heard such nagging in so long, and it warmed her heart. Later that evening, Song Yunfei and Chu Jinan also went in to visit Song Dashan. Although he was in the ICU, he seemed to be in good spirits. After learning that Chu Jinan was her boyfriend, she naturally couldn't help but ask him a lot of questions. Chu Jinan repeated everything Song Yunfei had said earlier. Song Dashan didn't show any joy on his face, instead, he sighed from time to time. 6 out of 10 sentences expressed the idea that things are too far away. Compared to Mother Song, he was still a little worried about his daughter marrying so far away. Song Yunfei sighed inwardly, realizing that they were overthinking things and would never get to the point of marriage. Now Chu Jinan knows that their childhood friendship is a lie, so there was no such thing as him studying abroad, and even his boyfriend was a lie. Otherwise, he wouldn't have chosen to continue playing dumb without asking any questions. It's just that he's still infatuated with her right now. Once that infatuation wears off, he'll definitely try to find out his true origins. That will be the end for Song Yunfei. So, once I get back, I still need to put running away on the agenda. She also believed that if she left, Chu Jinan wouldn't make things difficult for her parents. After all, in the original text, he did not cause any trouble for the elderly couple. Chapter 118. Even he had a day when he was afraid of losing face. Because of the new doctor and the new treatment plan, the medication used is also the best. Therefore, after about 10 days of treatment, Song Dashan was transferred to a VIP ward. However, the treatment is expensive, and many medications are not covered by insurance. Having connections doesn't mean you can get treatment for free. Song Yunfei deposited the remaining tens of thousands of yuan directly into the account and left her phone number, saying that if it wasn't enough, people could just call her. Chu Jinan said, "You should top up more. I think the daily treatment cost is very high." Song Yunfei hesitated for a moment. "Isn't that yours?" Chu Jinan frowned, his expression displeased. "Why are you making such a big deal out of this with me? If I transfer it to you, it's yours." Seeing this, Song Yunfei dared not continue speaking, for fear that he would get angry. So, they deposited another 150,000. More than 300,000 yuan should be enough to stay in the hospital until discharge. I spent 5 days harvesting grain in the countryside, and then another 5 days here. Including the previous few days, I've been here for almost half a month, so it's time to go back. Mother Song escorted the two to the hospital, giving them many instructions along the way. Now that she's more sensible, she's not as impatient as before, and she can't help but say a few more words as if she has endless things to say. Song Yunfei is usually busy with work and often doesn't answer the phone, so this is the only time we have a chance to talk for a while. "Sioha, if you're free this Chinese New Year, come back with us. Old man Song and I were discussing getting a network cable installed so you can use your phones when you get back." Song Yunfei didn't know whether she should agree or not. If I don't come back, wouldn't they have waited in vain? But if I don't agree, Mother Song will be sad now. Chu Jinan, who was standing nearby, agreed on her behalf. "Okay, we'll definitely come back." Quote. That's good. Why add, definitely? Song Yunfei could only force a smile and nod in agreement. Never mind, we'll see when the time comes. There are still a few months to go. As they were talking, the taxi arrived. Chu Jinan put her luggage in the trunk, and the two got into the car. Song Yunfei looked in the rearview mirror. Mother Song had been standing by the roadside watching their taxi. As the car drove away, her figure grew smaller and thinner. Finally, it turned into a tiny dot and disappeared. Although she only stayed for a few days and didn't feel a deep connection with the place, Song Yunfei still felt a strange sense of sadness at parting. She felt a warmth on her hand, and looking down, she saw that Chu Jinan was holding her hand. I'll be back for the Chinese New Year. Song Yunfei is even more worried. Soon, the two arrived at the airport and boarded a plane back to Qingcheng. As soon as he got off the plane, Song Yunfei rubbed his arms. Why does it feel colder here than back home? Chu Jinan took out her phone and glanced at it. It was only about 13 degrees Celsius in Qingcheng, while it was over 20 degrees Celsius in her hometown. The geographical locations are different. Song Yunfei slumped her shoulders. Let's go back quickly, I'm exhausted. You sit here, and I'll push you around, Chu Jinan said, pointing to the suitcase. Song Yunfei glanced around. With so many people around, she felt a little embarrassed. Isn't this inappropriate? Chu Jinan said, don't worry about others. Song Yunfei was a little excited. She had seen others ride it before, but she had never experienced it herself. So he gritted his teeth and straddled the suitcase. Chu Jinan, with her laptop slung over her left shoulder and her suitcase pushed by her right hand, walked towards the airport exit. Song Yunfei was still a little embarrassed. She hugged the lever, faced Chu Jinan, and buried her head in her chest. She can't see others, which means others can't see her either. Walking down the street, he still attracted a lot of attention. Even if she wasn't sitting on the luggage, Chu Jinan, with his height and long legs, would still attract more attention. As soon as I exited the airport, I heard Wu Wei's voice coming from afar. Brother Chu, Sister Song. Song Yunfei turned her head and saw him waving from exit 4 and running towards her quickly. She quickly got off her suitcase. Did you send him? No. Song Yunfei asked curiously, then how did he know we were coming back today? I made a phone call before boarding the plane. Song Yunfei remembered that he had received a phone call earlier. Chu Jinan said he was about to board the plane, so Wu Wei knew they were back. This guy is quite good at handling things, he actually took the initiative to pick them up. We finally waited for you. Come on, I'll take you home. Wu Wei took a few steps to the two of them, took the luggage from Chu Jinan's hand, and pulled the luggage to the other side. Song Yunfei smiled and said, thank you so much, you even went out of your way to pick us up. Sister Song, you are too kind. I didn't have anything else to do, so I just came to pick you up. Song Yunfei suddenly remembered something, you drove here. Yes. Song Yunfei thought to himself, it seems this kid has made a lot of money, he bought a car so quickly. However, when she saw Wu Wei's car, Song Yunfei realized she had been overthinking things. After following this guy for 7 or 8 minutes, they saw a familiar tricycle. Wu Wei skillfully put his luggage into the back of the vehicle. Song Yunfei was completely stunned. This is the car you drove here. Wu Wei nodded. Yeah, this car is quite understated, isn't it? Song Yunfei chuckled twice. You're really smart. He really remembered what Song Yunfei said. Chu Jinan was here to experience life and liked to keep a low profile. This low profile made Song Yunfei not even have the courage to sit on it. Wu Wei chuckled and patted the tricycle. Get on. Song Yunfei glanced at Chu Jinan. Shall we go? Chu Jinan also watched the tricycle in silence. This was the first time Song Yunfei had ever seen someone come to pick her up from the airport in a tricycle. Chu Jinan asked her, are you going? Song Yunfei glanced at Wu Wei's eager face, thinking that he meant well, and gritted her teeth, saying, let's go. The two got into the tricycle and remained silent for a moment. A bleak wind blew by, ruffling their hair and also disrupting their expressions. Song Yunfei took a face mask out of her bag and handed one to Chu Jinan. She bought this to dry grains because it was too uncomfortable to inhale the ash from the grains, so she made a special trip to town to buy it. The two silently put on masks, pretended to be looking down at their phones, and let the tricycle weave through the traffic. Song Yunfei looked at the man opposite her who was looking down at his phone. She always thought Chu Jinan was thick-skinned, but she never expected him to be afraid of losing face one day. Wu Wei was chattering away in front of me, recounting what had happened in the past 2 weeks. He said Liu Moke's wife ran away and took all his money, which was tied up in the stock market. He's been having a tough time these past few days. Liu Moke always bought things from Wu Wei's fourth uncle, who in turn bought them from Wu Wei. Wu Wei has been out of contact for the past few days, causing Liu Moke's stock to fall every day. I've been looking for Wu Wei everywhere these past few days, hoping he can save my stocks. Wu Wei said excitedly, Brother Chu, he still has his car and house, shouldn't we give him some time to recover? Chapter 119. So angry I almost cried. Wu Wei has now developed a knack for stock trading and knows how to keep people in suspense. You have to give the other side a glimmer of hope, otherwise they won't keep throwing. Song Yunfei was shocked when she heard their conversation. They finally realized that Chu Jinan's involvement in stock trading with Wu Wei wasn't out of kindness, but rather a setup for Liu Moke. Thinking about this, she began to feel uneasy. In retrospect, what she did seems to be even more outrageous than what Liu Moke did. He definitely won't let me off the hook. Soon, Wu Wei escorted the two to the entrance of the residential compound. Chu Jinan noticed that she seemed a little absent-minded and tugged at her hand. What's wrong? Song Yunfei snapped out of her reverie and forced a smile. It's nothing, I'm just a little tired. Then let's go back and rest first. Okay. After saying that, she turned back to Wu Wei and said, I'll return your computer to you tomorrow. Wu Wei laughed and said, No rush, I have another one, you can use it. Song Yunfei smiled, said goodbye to Wu Wei, and then entered the residential area with Chu Jinan. They ate lunch on the plane, but they weren't very full, and there wasn't much food at home. Chu Jinan ordered takeout. He placed the takeout on the table and said to Song Yunfei, Eat and get some rest. I'm going to the factory now, and I'll cook dinner when I get back. Song Yunfei nodded. Go ahead and get busy. I'll go buy groceries later. Chu Jinan responded, went to the bedroom to change his clothes, and then went straight out the door. Song Yunfei opened the takeout on the table. Let's eat first, there's no use thinking about it anymore. After finishing her meal, she intended to walk the dog, only to remember that Quan Quan had been taken away by Bai Yu. She sent a message to Bai Yu, who was still at work. Bai Yu sent her an address and password and told her to pick it up herself. Bai Yu doesn't live far away, it's in the next neighborhood, just a 10-minute walk away. She went to Bai Yu's room, entered the password, and pushed open the door to go inside. This guy actually lives in a 3-bedroom apartment, and the decoration is particularly luxurious. When I opened the door, I saw a familiar dog sitting there, but when it saw Song Yunfei, it just squatted down and wagged its tail, not at all as enthusiastic as before. Is it angry, or did Bai Yu mistreat it? Song Yunfei looked around and saw a beautiful little house in the corner, clearly meant for dogs. There was water and dog food nearby, and judging by the brand of the dog food, it was a very expensive one. He doesn't look like he's been abused. Song Yunfei picked up Quan Quan and examined him all over. He hadn't lost weight, in fact, he had gained a lot of weight. That's strange. She put Quan Quan on the ground and took out her phone to call Bai Yu to ask him something. Suddenly a figure emerged from the house, startling Song Yunfei. The person who came out was also startled and jumped back, exclaiming, Oh my God! After they saw each other clearly, they both breathed a sigh of relief. But the next moment, Song Yunfei's eyes widened. Wait, Yuan Bai Yu. Xiao Jian's eyes widened. How did you know my house password? Song Yunfei was stunned. Isn't this Bai Yu's house? Year 2. Xiao Jian. Pa, what do you mean, his house? This is my house. It's brand new. Why do you know my house password? Song Yunfei stood there blankly, pointing to the dog at her feet. I've come to get my dog. Xiao Jian looked at the dog on the ground and suddenly questioned his existence. Yours. Didn't Bai Yu pick this up on the street? She seemed to realize what had happened, and immediately flew into a rage. That scoundrel, he tricked me into raising a dog for him again. Song Yunfei cautiously pointed to the small house and dog food over there. Did you buy all of these? Xiao Jian retorted irritably. Otherwise what? Did it fall from the sky? Xiao Jian realized she had been scammed and paced around the room in anger. Then she poured herself a glass of water and gulped it down. After drinking the water, she calmed down a bit. She waved frantically at Song Yunfei. Come in and sit down. What are you doing standing at the door? Song Yunfei forced a smile. No, I'm going back now. Xiao Jian went straight up to her and pulled her into the house. Song Yunfei sat nervously on the sofa. She was genuinely a little scared because she hadn't kept her promise to her last time. Xiao Jian didn't mention this matter at all. She first scolded Bai Yu, and then made a fierce accusation. She said that Bai Yu brought back a weak dog a few days ago, saying that she found it on the road and that it looked pitiful, so she gave it to her to raise. They praise her beauty and kindness to the skies, but if she doesn't take care of it, they can only leave it by the roadside to fend for itself. Xiao Jian found the dog adorable yet pitiful, and couldn't bear to leave it, so she adopted it. I've bought a lot of things these past few days. I bought the best dog food, and the little house cost over 2,000 yuan. There are still a lot of toys that haven't arrived yet. Knowing the truth, she was so angry that she almost burst into tears. Seeing her exasperated appearance, Song Yunfei felt a moment of sympathy for her. She tactfully changed the subject. Miss Xiao, does what we talked about last time still stand? Xiao Jian looked bewildered. What is it? Song Yunfei hinted at her, about my leaving. Xiao Jian said, oh, and then added, this. No rush. I almost forgot to tell you, wait for my notification before you take any action. Do I have to wait for your notification? Yes, he can't go back yet, otherwise I would buy this house. Xiao Jian realized he had let something slip, cleared his throat twice, and changed the subject. Anyway, you two can do whatever you want. I'll tell you when the time is right. Song Yunfei looked at her suspiciously. Could it be that something big had happened in the Chu family? She tried to raise the price, saying, if I follow your instructions, can you raise the price a little? Xiao Jian's eyelids twitched, and she glared at her again. You really are a greedy woman, how much do you want? Song Yunfei held up one finger. 1 million. Is this okay? Xiao Jian stroked his chin, lost in thought. A minute later, Xiao Jian said, okay, as long as you follow my instructions, I can give it to you. Such generosity must mean something's up. Then when will I have to wait? At least 3 months from now. Okay, Song Yunfei immediately agreed. This was roughly the best time for her to escape. Because at this point, Chu Jinan was not far from returning. Song Yunfei, with Quan Quan in tow, left the residential area. It's unclear how much the events of the past 3 months have affected Chu Jinan. If the impact is too great, she can't wait until 3 months later. She didn't want Chu Jinan to suffer any further setbacks, and secondly, if she caused a major incident to be delayed, she would have another charge against her. Thinking of this, she took out her phone and called Bai Yu. The call was answered shortly after. The sun must have risen in the west. He actually called me on his own initiative. What's up, Sui Hua? Song Yunfei ignored his teasing and asked solemnly, Bai Yu, do you know what major events have happened in the Chu family these past few months? Bai Yu chuckled, I know. Chapter 120 Is this even human language? Song Yunfei asked nervously, what? Call me brother. Song Yunfei said helplessly, stop messing around and just tell me already. Bai Yu gave a soft snort, seemingly somewhat displeased. I have a patient here, we'll talk later. Song Yunfei immediately recognized it as an excuse and hurriedly said, "Hey, no, brother. I'll call you, okay." Bai Yu then chuckled contentedly. "Actually, it's nothing serious. It's just that the old chairman is retiring and a new chairman will be elected at the end of the year. Why are you suddenly concerned about this?" Song Yunfei's heart skipped a beat. Then, is Chu Jinan the best candidate? That was true before, but now that he's been missing for more than half a year, it's hard to say. Song Yunfei then asked, "So, someone sent you here because of this?" Bai Yu clicked her tongue and said, "Sui Hua, how come you're so smart?" Song Yunfei fell silent, her heart pounding with anxiety. She said, "The original owner is just a low-level employee. How could he possibly have the ability to lead someone so far away, and keep doing so for over a year?" She committed all sorts of illegal acts related to relationships, and then let others reap all the benefits. "What, are you scared now?" Song Yunfei sighed. How could she not be afraid? "So what should I do now? Should I tell him the truth?" Bai Yu chuckled. "Go ahead and tell him. After you do, it won't just be him suing you. You've ruined someone else's plans, and others probably won't let you off the hook either." Hearing the first half of the sentence, Song Yunfei felt quite relieved, but when she heard the second half, she felt like the sky had fallen. So is she now in a dilemma? Song Yunfei asked again, what would happen if he missed this election? "It's nothing, he just lost his position as chairman. Isn't that good enough?" "Yes, all he'll have left are shares and cold dividends. He'll just be a rich kid who can only live a life of leisure and wait to die. It's so tragic." Quote. Is this even human language? I really want to fight these rich people. I thought you were so brave and wouldn't be afraid. Why are you suddenly scared now? What kind of psychological journey did you go through? Tell me so I can be happy. Song Yunfei didn't want to talk to him for even a second longer and promptly hung up the phone. After hanging for a few minutes, Song Yunfei chickened out and called back. Besides Bai Yu, she couldn't find anyone else to talk to, since the two were accomplices. Unexpectedly, Bai Yu held a grudge. She hung up on him as soon as he called. Song Yunfei snorted and decided not to answer. She then blocked Bai Yu. The main theme is mutual harm. After Song Yunfei returned home, she even took out her phone to check it out. She was just an ordinary person and didn't understand the internal structure of their group, so she wanted to find out what the director did. "I haven't seen the chairman much during my regular work hours." After reading for a long time, she found all sorts of conflicting opinions online, which gave her a headache. In summary, Chu Jinan has shares, so his power is definitely greater than that of the chairman, it's just unknown how many shares he owns. According to the original text, he probably doesn't hold many shares now. The positions he holds now are actually for building up his authority and prestige so that he can eventually acquire shares from his father. As the largest shareholder, if one lacks the ability, even if one obtains shares, it is easy for a single wrong decision to cause problems for the group. The chairman of the board, who can participate in the company's operations and decision-making, is the position that best demonstrates a person's ability. If he fails to be selected, Song Yunfei doesn't know what will happen. As Bai Yu said, he might only be able to live a life of leisure and idleness as a rich second-generation heir, and he will never have a chance to inherit the shares held by his father. Those were such cold words, they made Song Yunfei feel a chill in her heart. But this must be quite important to him, right? Before she knew it, Song Yunfei had lost track of time. Hearing the door open, she quickly put away her phone and looked at the person who had come in. Upon entering, Chu Jinan instinctively glanced at the dining table, which was empty. Song Yunfei noticed his gaze and gave an awkward smile. I overslept. Let's go out for dinner tonight." Chu Jinan didn't say anything, he just nodded. "Okay, what do you want to eat?" "I don't know either, let's go out and take a look first." She got off the sofa and jogged to the door. Wait a minute. Chu Jinan tugged at her, then went inside, and came out with a coat in his hand. He draped his jacket over Song Yunfei's shoulders, saying, "It gets chilly at night, wear more." Song Yunfei smiled at him and said, "Yes, thank you." They went out to eat, so they couldn't take Quan Quan with them. Song Yunfei looked back at Quan Quan, who was lying listlessly in the doghouse. "I have a feeling that it's a little depressed." Chu Jinan glanced at it as well. "Maybe it's because we've been apart for too long." Really? Song Yunfei was skeptical. They should be very enthusiastic after being apart for so long. Xiao Jian would never mistreat it. After all, she only buys it the best things. Song Yunfei vaguely thought of something. Could it be that she had been having too good a time these past few days and was missing the days in Xiao Jian? She sighed, closed the door, and left. The two strolled around the nearby streets, where there were many shops, but they didn't know what to eat. As Song Yunfei walked, she began to drift off into thought, her mind filled with Baiyu's words. "I originally thought that at worst I could just tell the truth and then find a way to escape, but now, if I tell the truth, I will face threats from other people. It might even implicate her parents, which made her have to think about it carefully." Chu Jinan stared at her, lost in thought, and just as she was about to run a red light, he pulled her back. "Have you decided what you want to eat?" Song Yunfei snapped out of her reverie, glanced at the braised chicken restaurant across the street, and casually pointed, "Let's eat that one." As they crossed the street, Chu Jinan took her hand and led her to the shop on the other side. The restaurant was packed, so the food must be pretty good. After sitting down, Song Yunfei ordered a braised chicken dish, then rested her chin on her hand and began to daydream again. Chu Jinan glanced at her several times before finally asking, "Are you worried about your uncle's condition?" "Oh, yeah," Song Yunfei chuckled. Chu Jinan stared at her for a moment, then didn't ask any more questions. The two ate their meal in silence. Chu Jinan didn't seem to like chicken. He swallowed a few bites with difficulty and then put down his chopsticks. Song Yunfei noticed, "You don't like this. Then order something else." Chu Jinan declined, "No need, I'm not that hungry yet." Unable to discern whether what he said was true or false, Song Yunfei could only give up for the time being. After they finished their meal, the two strolled back slowly. As soon as they reached the entrance of the residential area, Song Yunfei saw a familiar figure and instinctively reached out to pull Chu Jinan along. However, Xiao Jian had already spotted the two of them. "Hey, Song Yunfei." Song Yunfei took a deep breath, forced a smile, and turned to look at the woman at the entrance of the residential complex. "What's up?" Xiao Jian took a few steps to stand in front of the two of them and looked at Chu Jinan. When Chu Jinan saw her, his brows furrowed slightly, and he looked thoughtful.